Mm, I don't want to say it. I thought we did a really good job offensively today. I'll start with the offense. Really all weekend, we, 9 or 10 hits a game, for 3 days in a row off some really good arms and different looks. We also hit a lot of balls hard, both teams did, but, um, I just felt like our bats were better. We fought. I was really proud of our offense today because we're down one, we're tied, and then we're down 4-1. It's looking pretty good for them, and then bang, with 2 outs, I think we had maybe a walk and then like 4 hits in a row or whatever it was, and it's hard to get 2 hits in a row, and three's rare, but four is big time. And next thing you know, we had the lead, and uh, you know that was a few innings later, but it was just one of those games where you just didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know if it was going to be 14-15 or, you know, I just thought it was going to be a high scoring game after the way I saw the ball flying. It just seemed like the air was thin, something going on. And, I think about the ball that Behava hit. I didn't know if it was going to get out of the park. I was just hoping it got over his head and it got out. And then the fly ball that Larson hit, I mean, he hit it pretty good. He got it up and he really spun it good. He backspun it. And it got out of the park. And you're kind of going, wow. And then I thought Stovall's the ball he hit out, he hit it really good. And he had a lot of backspin on it and it traveled, but we didn't know it was going to go. And, but the ball was flying today. So, really Cody Frank came in and did an amazing job, got us out of that. I think what was that, the 5th inning? And, I don't know, he threw four or five pitches and then, got us through a couple more and just slowed him down a little bit. And then to have Hunter come in his first, first hitter ever faces in college is Tommy White. Is one of the best hitters in the country. Kind of tough situation, and I thought he threw the ball pretty good. And so I'm excited about getting him back out there, probably next weekend. And then Will, really wanted to finish the thing up. We're hoping that we only had to go 3 outs with him. We had to go, I guess, 4. But really, really good job by the pitching staff all weekend for the most part. And then the offense, and then you talk about fielding the ball, turning double plays. Just a really good weekend all around, good enough to win 2 out of 3 for sure and somehow find a way to win today, and we'll take it.
Yeah, Dave, you bring Will in, bases are loaded. Bingham's already hit 2 home runs. He had a double the other night off Will. I think he also struck him out, but just the way he handled that situation, getting out of that jam.
Well, that's one reason we put him in there, because he's older, he's been there and really doesn't get rattled. And, he just came in there and kind of did what he does. And, just excited for him. He's really having a good year for us, and he's been Mr. Reliable. And, I didn't write his name on the board. I didn't write it on the lineup card. And when I went, and I always post a lineup card down by the locker room, when I went and got it right before we go out stretch, his name just appeared on there because I guess he wrote it in there. So I said something to Coach Hobb, and he said, yeah, he wrote it in there. And so, we didn't want him doing much. And I guess he threw 24 pitches, and that was all he needed to throw right there. So glad it worked out.
I don't know if you got a good view on the foul ball, the White hit in the 9th. I mean, it was so high, it was really hard to tell. But kind of what did your heart skip a couple beats?
Of course it did. You go from the balls, if it's fair, you go from leading to being behind by a run. At a minimum, you're down 1. You get out of the inning, and then we got to score 1 to stay. To keep playing, but. It kind of reminded me of the ball that Sousa hit the other day. We thought it went right over the top of the pole, or, right there. And then, but his was hit, White's was hit high, and the wind got a hold of it and just kept pushing it left. Sousa's the other night was just smoked and was kind of hooking, and that was a tough call too, unless she had a pole another 60 feet in the air, probably on both of them. But yeah, we couldn't tell, and the umpire, he had the best view, and he called a foul.
It's kind of like he dodged a bullet there, kind of.
You what?
Feel like he kind of dodged a bullet there.
Well, you always feel like you dodge bullets when you know, you got these good hitters up and, even if you strike them out, you're still dodging them because you got a 2-run lead, you got 2 on and, they got probably the best right-handed hitter in the country up. So, yeah, you know, that's part of the game. You got to dodge them. That's why you got pitchers that, you know, do what they do. They figure out how to get outs when maybe some teams don't. That's how you survive some of these games.
Ryder Helper just had the one hit, but he hit the ball hard a few different times. Just how good was that to see him take it, carry his momentum, and how important could he be for you guys down the stretch?
Oh, yeah. I thought Ryder swung the bat pretty good today. And then, you know, he also advanced to runner to third, hit a ball pretty good into the wind, into right center. Just missed it, smoked one foul. But and then obviously hit that line drive to left. But just I thought he did a really good job of catching. I don't think they attempted to steal on him today. Um, but yeah, when you're not really noticing the catcher a lot, they're doing a good job.
6 through 9 for you guys. I think scored 5 of the 7 runs tonight. Just how good is it to get that production from the bottom of the order?
Well, you know, it starts with Edmondson. I mean, he got at least 3 hits that I remember. And, you know, just looking at this, he had a walk too, so he was on 4 times. And he scored what, 1 time? Wilmsmeyer scored. No, it was Ed, you know, so it's just if the end of the order gets on and the top of the order gets it down a little bit, you're going to score some runs. And we needed them today. But I go back to that. I guess it was the 4th inning when we got all those hits in a row. We haven't done that this year. That was really good to see.
And what do you make of Brady's start and sending him back out there for that inning, just trying to eat one, or do you feel pretty good about, where he was and if his
Yeah,
his
I
stuff?
mean, obviously he didn't have the command of his pitches like he's had. So fortunate for us, you know, that Frank came in and just had great stuff. He had all 3 of his pitches working, it looked like to us over there in the dugout. You know, Brady wasn't super sharp, but he didn't really walk people, but he was behind in the count a lot. I think he hit a batter to lead off the inning. You know, he had a couple pitches that if he could get him back, he would. That, you know, the 2 of them left the park. He was ahead in the count, or he just didn't locate it where he wanted it. He threw it for a strike, but it was kind of more in the middle of the plate. And those are things that he cleans that up. He stays in the game for a while.
Dave, whether it be offensively or defensively, how much do you think Stovall has transformed this team over the last few weeks?
Well, I mean, we knew it. We knew it was going to happen when he came back. It was going to just solidify our defense. Another left-handed hitter, maybe a guy that could hit lead off. If not, we're going to hit him 2-hole, 3-hole. But I think he likes leading off. You know, he'll take a walk, but he'll also hit you a home run every now and then. And he's having you know, you got to think about this. He's hitting 360 or something. He's doing it all against the league. He didn't get any of them cookie games, you know, when the wind's blowing out 30 miles an hour and the wind's out of the north and we're playing somebody that has run out of pitching and we're scoring 10, 12, 15 runs. I mean, he pretty much has to do it. Been doing it against the SEC. So, and he's, you know, I looked at his numbers yesterday. I think what do you have, like 40 at bats now, or 35, 40 going into today? And if that, and so when his bats pick up, he's going to get even more comfortable. And, but yeah, I think he's just brought a spark to our lineup. He's brought a spark to our middle infield. And, you know, sometimes that's what you need. You need one more guy.
You were complimentary of Edmondson's base running last night, and then he had that sequence during the big inning for you today. I mean, just how would you evaluate how that went?
Well, it went really well, obviously. You know, the big inning, I think he shot that ball to right field and he hit it hard, let it get real deep and smoked it 4-hole, 4-3-hole over there. And I don't know, just had a really good day for us. And, you know, that's what he can do. You know, he can help us. He can help us. You know, at a minimum, we can platoon people in left. We can, you know, just go with the hot bat, you know, because I think our rights can hit right and our lefts can hit left. But sometimes we just look at the matchups and what they do against our type of right or left, and we'll go with that unless somebody just gets hot and takes that job for a while. But that was really good to see. And, you know, just having the guys at the end of the order, it's just as important as the top. To me, it's the second inning, the third inning, whatever it is. And you got to roll it over, get back to the top. You got runners on base. That's when you can do some damage.
I'm sure you've noticed this, but it seems like in so many of your games this year, a team will go up and then it's either that next half inning or the inning after that, your guy, you never stay down for very long.
Yeah.
What's that say about the team?
That just says that, they respond, number one, and they don't let, I don't know, that's a sign of a good team. When you come back like that, it's a sign of a good team. You don't roll over. You're down 4-1 today, and lefty's cruising a little bit out there, and you already won the first two games. We just kept fighting. We wanted to win the game. And like I said, that's one of the things I talked about. I don't talk to them very long after the game. Can't hear out there anyway. It's loud, windy, and people are screaming. So I just kind of say a few things and get out of there. But one of the things I said was I was really proud of the way they got down 3 runs and they just came in and took care of business. I just wanted to score 1. I just want to flip the momentum a little bit. We ended up getting 4 hits in an inning in a row. So, yeah, we've done that a few times this year. It's been really, really good feeling in the dugout.
Sometimes when you bring a guy back from an injury, you kind of want him or a pitcher to be maybe a midweek game or
Yeah.
something like that. But you threw Dietz into the fire against Tommy White. Was that just
Yeah.
kind of wanting to see what the freshman could do in a spot like that?
Well, not necessarily. We wanted him to start an inning. We almost brought him in a couple innings earlier, but we couldn't take Frank out because he was throwing so good. We thought Frank would get us through that inning, maybe give us one more. But his stuff was so good, he only thrown a few pitches. It seemed like after 4 outs, and went back out again. But that was kind of our plan, is to bring him in off of Cody. But it just happened to be the 8th. We had a 2-run lead, and they're at the top of the order, and White was hitting leadoff today. And it was I thought he threw the ball pretty good, honestly. And because I don't know what his velocity was, 92, 93, but there's a lot more in there, and there'll be more coming. So if we waited not to throw him this weekend, or we didn't get him in today, and we throw him on Tuesday, then we probably won't have him for the weekend. So we had to get him in today. And he got a double play ball, took a bad hop. I got to give Aloy credit, man. That ball came up on him. He scrambled and wheeled him through a strike. That was big. And the way he played that ball. I mean, he didn't just say, "Oh crap, I missed the ball." Man, he attacked it and went and got it. That's kind of our whole mentality of our team, and yeah, I thought he threw good, but we just had to get him out there this weekend, and we had the lead and we had 2 innings left. So we thought 8th probably better than the 9th. And I'm glad it worked out, and he'll get better. He's probably thinking, I didn't throw very good. We thought he threw pretty good.
Spring ball, maybe not the best weekend at the plate, but had some big plays in the field, including that last one there today.
Yeah, you look at his defense this weekend, it was amazing. You start with that double play ball that they turned, I think, on Thursday night. Chopper, he leads Peyton, where Peyton could just field it and flip it. He didn't have to go the wrong way. Today, that ground ball kind of down the line, he backhands it. He threw the ball where Peyton could kind of slide to the ball and just kind of change it over first base without having to go back and catch it, and fielded everything. Made a good throw on that last play. I mean, he had a base runner in his way too, and I thought he did a good job. So, and he took some walks, and even the safety he laid down yesterday, I thought it was a great bunt. Like I said last night, I should have taken it off. I knew they were going to run that play after the first pitch, but I thought, he's such a good bunter. He's going to put it right where we want, and they're not going to do it, and give the first baseman credit. He did it, but he did everything. He does everything we ask him to.
And then with McIntyre, the big names, Hagen Smith, Brady Tiger, Mason Molina, they get a lot of the attention, but McIntyre's a guy who, like you said, he wanted to pitch today, put his name on there. Just what do you think about him?
Well, he's kind of like I don't know how it is. It's like he's an insurance, you just know you can go to that guy. He's always ready to pitch. He wants to pitch. He's like rubber arm, never bothers him. It's kind of like having a security blanket in a way, it's every team that's good has a guy like that in the bullpen, man. It's just probably going to throw. You're going to get a lot of appearances, and you know, it's not going to go good every time, but he gives you everything he's got, and that's all you can ask.
It's a collectible time overall on the weekend.
I thought it was great. We used a lot of people. We had a couple more guys ready to roll. I mean, you know, we had a couple guys kind of appear that, you know, you look at Christian Fouch coming in throwing 99 miles an hour with a sinker now, and he threw a splitty. It was just filthy. Struck the guy out. I think to lead off the second inning, got a little confidence throwing strikes. You know, you could throw that hard velocity off this lefty or whatever you want to do. It's just a different look. So it's really, really good. I feel like our bullpen's getting deeper, and you know, we're just playing.
And then LSU, I mean, they don't get swept very often. And obviously, historically, they have a big lead going in the series going back to the sixties or whatever. But you guys are now, I think you beat them 12 out of 16, so 12-4. What do you think about sweeping them? How tough that is? And then the fact you guys have kind of had their number here the last few years.
I mean, sweeping anybody's tough. It's hard, you know, you beat a team like LSU that's got those big bangers in the middle of that lineup. I mean, you know, they got their top 5 hitters can hit the ball out about any time. And, you know, they beat Florida last weekend, I think game 1 pretty handily, and then had a lead going into the 8th, 2-run lead. Florida scored 1 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th and beat them in extra innings, and then got them in the last day. And then, you know, it came in here. So I know that they're going to play a lot better. They're going to things will start going their way. It's like I tell our guys every weekend, when you get a W, you win it, because it's hard to win, and it can turn around on you. If you start thinking you're better than you are, or it's easy, that's when you start losing. So I think the guys keep each other grounded, and I try to keep them grounded. Obviously, I think we have a really good team, and they're solid. I think they're kind of starting to get to know each other a lot more, and what to expect and how to act, and, you know, how to go about their business on the road. It's tough winning on the road, and that's how you win. There's a lot of expectation from each other, a lot of competition from each other, and but you know, LSU's a good team. They're going to get their W's.
Well, a guy writes his name on the lineup card. I'm assuming everybody doesn't get to do that. Is that a deal where you maybe cut Will some slack because he's an older guy and done so much stuff for you?
Well, if he wasn't on the 27-man roster, I wouldn't want him writing his name on the lineup card. But I really don't have a problem with it. You know, doesn't mean I got to play him or put him in. I'm not going to get mad at anybody for doing that if they're on the 27-man. If they weren't on the 27-man, probably wouldn't get mad at them there. I might tell them not to do it. They're just trying to tell me they want to be on the 27-man, but they got to, you know, that's that. But now Mac deserves a lot of respect, and, you know, if it was something else, I'd let him slide too.
Hey, speaking of the 27-man, how hard is it to put that together right
It's real
now?
hard. You know, because you got to take a hit or two off to get another pitcher or two on. You know, we left off a couple good pitchers, but they're pitching Tuesday. But they're good enough to be on the 27-man. So, you know, it's they just got to understand we're playing. They're pitching, they've got a chance. They can pitch on Tuesday and do well. And then we're saying we got to use that guy at the pen on Sunday. We got to have him for Sunday. Or it's not, I don't know. I like it.
The TV replay didn't have a good look at Tommy White's fly ball there in the 9th. From your vantage point, how close was it?
Super close. Just like, you know, Sousa's ball, in my opinion. It was, you know, Sousa had probably had the best look, and he thought it was fair. Bobby thought it went over the top of I'm sure their third base coach thought that ball was fair. The ball was hit high, and how you going to overturn that? I mean, if he called it fair and I asked him to look at it, it's not changing. I mean, I would be shocked unless you were at, like, you know, maybe you were in Omaha when there's 16 cameras and they got 3 different cameras going at the same time to figure out really where was that ball at this time when it hit that pole. Yeah, it was close, obviously. But it was called foul, and, you know, maybe it was a break for us, but probably foul.
You know, last week you guys were up, you know, won the first 2 games and didn't complete the sweep. Was there any lessons from last weekend that maybe the team was able to carry over? Or
Yeah.
if not, just, you know, how much of a motivation was it to kind of get the job done this weekend?
Oh, I'm sure that they all were, you know, went back and thought a little bit about last week. You know, you didn't want to, we talked about it after the game, so I don't want to talk about it today. Like in the 8th inning, I didn't want to going into the eighth, the top of the eighth. I didn't want to say, hey, we got a 2-run lead. Remember, this game's not over. Remember what happened last week. I don't want to say that, but they know, yeah, you got to finish the game. And, you know, you get to the end of the game on Sunday and usually teams are throwing pitchers for the second time and, you just hoping they can, you know, maybe they hit it at you, kind of like it ended, you know. But we had a lot of balls hard too that were right at people this weekend. And I thought our offense, again, I'm going to talk about them. I thought they did a great job, man. They got pitch count up. Every starter for them we got their pitch count up quick. And, you know, they used 7 pitchers in one game, and that probably made them wonder if they were going to be able to use those guys again. So great job all the way around. It was definitely a team sweep. It wasn't like pitching carried us or the hitting it was everybody.
I go.
Okay.